Ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Grab a cold one, crank up the volume, and join the show. Welcome to NBNR Live. And here we go.
It's no block, no rock. Go big red indeed. No block, no rock. Episode 233 coming at you from the NBNR studio in Omaha, Nebraska, where it is raining very heavily all of a sudden.
Yeah, you could literally hear it. It sounds like it's raining cats and dogs outside.
And we are hoping that we will have no connection issues.
We hope not.
We already have Mike on the ones and twos. We don't need any more shenanigans going on here.
Yes. I think we'll be okay. We reset the router here at the chiropractic office. Kinetic Chiropractic, guys. I don't know if we've really ever given them a shout, but Kinetic Chiropractic, that's where the MBNR studio is. We use the backside of this office, and it is awesome. So they were really good to us. I said, hey, could we reset the router really quick? Because I'm getting a connectivity issue on StreamYard, and I am currently. So it didn't work, but we're just going to go. The show goes on, guys. So
roll with it.
We'll just roll with it.
Speaking of Kinetic Chiropractic, did you guys see recently, we're over 1 year in this studio.
Crazy.
A few weeks ago, we crossed a 1 year mark in this room.
Right on.
It's pretty neat.
Time flies, man.
It does.
Before we start plugging Nebraska Brewing, how many people we got? 20 something?
No, like 35.
Okay. If you're watching, we're going to plug the YouTube page right now. We're going to plug it. We're like 15 away.
15 subscribers away
15.
from 1,000.
So close yet so far. If you do it, Mike's getting the corn cob thing. We've talked about this, the teardrop corn cob.
And Connor shaving his mustache.
Yeah.
I did not agree to that.
Yeah.
I did not agree to that.
Come on. Get rid of that thing. Get rid of that fucking thing.
I got married like a week and a half ago. I'll be divorced in a month if I do that.
This is Connor's first episode as a married man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's ask the obvious question, Connor. How much has changed since you got married?
Honestly, not that much. We lived together for 3 years, or 2 years. Sorry. Yeah, not much. I wear this thing now.
Congrats on the CX.
Yeah. No.
Actually, that goes down.
It's funny. I always said I was saving myself for marriage, and now I think I'm going for the 5th anniversary. I don't know.
All right. I didn't get anything from the fridge.
Do you want something? You want me to grab something right now? Live. What do you want? What do you want?
You got to tell me what we got.
I brought extra beer today. I don't have pickle yet.
Oh, no,
I don't have pickle yet. It's coming.
That would have been my pick.
Because we haven't had it in a long time.
Yeah, I did.
Hey,
I did bring
thank you.
fresh. Tell them what it is, and I'll get into that.
Ale Storm, the flagship beer,
Official.
There we go. Official beer of the Storm Chasers.
Yes.
It's a good time for a storm chaser beer when there's a storm actively happening.
Yeah, we didn't have
at
to
our
chase
studio,
this one.
so we didn't have to chase it. It's literally right outside our door.
It found us.
It's like a bolt of lightning to my taste buds.
Clip.
You're welcome.
That's gonna be a promo.
You're welcome.
That's going on a radio ad.
Hell yeah.
What are you drinking?
Oh, you guys know.
Yeah.
We do. I know Mike is gonna love this Pilsner. If you can find it, you can find it in the tap room right now. You're probably not gonna find it in many stores, but it is almost gone. We do not can this beer very often. We do have some in the studio right now, so I am drinking one. I'm enjoying it while we've still got it. But that's what we got. It's Nebraska Pilsner. It's the best beer the Nebraska Brewing Company makes.
Love it.
All right. And I'm going to talk about our other sponsor. It is Draft Top. Let me take a little peek at that, guys. This is Draft Top at Nebraska Nebraska Brewing Company and at MDNR. We like to drink with our tops off. So
take it off.
We're going to take the top off real quick.
Twist.
The old twisty twist.
We take it off and we twist.
We twist.
No mess.
No mess. Of course not. Right? Boom, bam. Look at that. Top is off. I dripped a little bit. But guys, we drink with our tops off.
Yo, X-rate. Keep it X-rated or not keep it X-rated. We don't want to keep it X-rated.
I'm also drinking the Ale Storm, guys. It is one of my favorite beers at the brewery. And they brew for my favorite MLB team, the Kansas City Royals, the AAA affiliate. So why not? Anyways, guys, Nebraska Brewing Company, world class.
In every glass. He sniped that from you again.
Listen.
Hey, we got this thing since you've been gone, right?
It's okay.
Yeah.
As long as it gets said, I don't care who says it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to plug you guys because you guys are very generous and have been for how long has it been? How many years?
Almost 5 years.
Yeah.
Jesus.
So I actually, in my Facebook memories today was 4 years ago. I wasn't a full-time host at that time. I was on occasionally. You guys were dumb enough to allow me to sit on a microphone. But 4 years ago, I was sitting on a microphone with you guys, which was weird.
Crazy, man.
Yeah. I don't get why you guys have tolerated
Can't
me
believe
this
you
long.
lasted this long.
Hey,
Yeah, me either.
all because the former head coach got.
Normally, I prefer back to.
That's
not the right button.
I didn't know that was that button. There it is.
There it is.
That's cool.
Hey, that still counts as one.
Yeah, sure does. Okay,
Okay.
we plugged NBC. Okay, I just want to get this off my chest real quick. Freaking Arkansas, man. Like, just doing their usual fucking shtick and just puckering up when the moment matters the most.
Give us a good pucker.
Oh, I was. Yeah, I got up there.
And it wasn't just one guy, right? I mean, you had the guy that had the double play but didn't do it. Easy double play. Easy. But again, when you get in those moments, you get in your head and you're like, okay, I got to play it safe. Throw a third, right? Damn. Could have had you had the game right there. And then like, I know it's bad. It's bad. And I feel bad for the guy dropping that freaking fly ball and like tripping over himself and it like hits him in the head or something. That's bad. Because his little hole tightened up.
You know what? Yeah, that reminded me of. You remember that commercial that was like fantasy football, and they'd would hit the sprinklers and shit, and guys would trip over and stuff.
Oh, it was the Buffalo Wild Wings
Yeah,
commercial.
Buffalo Wild
Send
Wings
it to
commercial.
overtime.
That's what that felt like. It felt like somebody else made this man trip because there is no way in hell that Dave Van Horn deserves to win a natty.
It's almost as if like God has made this a personal, like we've gone through all of eternity, right? He creates the atom and then all these creatures throughout, the history of the earth. Just for this, just to screw Dave Van Horn. That's it. That's the only reason why any of us exist. That's why the earth exists, is so Dave Van Horn can get royally fucked by God to never win a trophy.
What sucks is Dave Van Horn. I think we can all probably agree. Dave Van Horn's a great coach.
Yeah,
I think we can all agree on that.
He's pretty solid.
So I've had two arguments. One surrounding exactly what you just brought up, but one about what if DVH was still at Nebraska?
Yeah,
I want to address that very quickly and just say he would not see this what he's doing in Arkansas. That's not going to happen.
Nah.
I'm sorry. I love Nebraska. I love Nebraska baseball. It ain't happening here. I just want to get back. I want to make Omaha one more time in my lifetime. That's cool. I think that's this insane mark of success. The other is, about Arkansas's what's called a blunder.
I guess. I mean, geez,
it sucks, but dog, that's sports. That's baseball. Let's go back to the Big Ten tournament. Nebraska should not have won that tournament.
No, they shouldn't have.
Yeah.
No,
but one blunder, it did happen.
Damn.
That's just sports. It doesn't matter what you're playing. It doesn't matter what team you're on.
Yeah.
They happen. So I do feel bad for the guy. For me, though, it is kind of funny. Because I don't get a lot of joy as a Husker fan. It's pretty rare. So I have to derive that from other teams doing stupid shit.
Yeah, you're a big Schadenfreude guy.
Yeah. So I feel bad for the guy, but it did. It made me laugh. It made me laugh.
It made it happen.
I was mad. It was as if one of trying to think. I'll just fucking say. It was as if Robbie Bolin had dropped it. That's how pissed I was.
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? Oh, I when I say I want DVH to win a title, I'm not just saying that, man. I really want him to. It's when you have when you have Nebraska football on the diamond in the Nebraska football in the fourth quarter on the diamond, I'm like, it was that emotion. It was that level of anger. But like you keep watching highlights of it, and you kind of laugh a little.
Yeah, it's funny
because he looked goofy.
It was something.
He looked goofy.
I told you, somebody hit that sprinkler, and he's like, "See ya."
And look,
yeah,
he looked like me out there tracking a fly ball. But so yeah,
he fell.
But at the same time, like I'm sure he's a great player.
Yeah,
but
you don't make it to Omaha not being a great player.
And DVH even said we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for him. But at the same time, that's where the whole kind of being paid. You're playing for Arkansas baseball, so these guys are being paid more than Murray State players are. So it's like, bro, you kind of have to just fucking catch it and not look like a Looney Tune.
Okay,
guy.
You want to talk about Looney Tunes in this College World Series? I'm positive you guys watched Game 2 of the championship.
Well, sure.
Looney Tunes, first of all, getting Schnall ejected and that first base coach ejected in the bottom of the first. That's crazy.
That was wild.
Looney Tunes was the ump falling over his own feet. What I want to give him credit for is he's not touched. He trips over his own feet. But my man is like, as he's rolling over his own ass, is like, you know what I should do? Pop myself up and try and stand from this. The still shots of it are just the funniest thing of his legs just 3 feet over his head.
Yes, because when you fall, you have to just fall in the most silly
and what?
No, so if he pulled that recovery off and just like popped himself back up onto his feet, I mean that's a Sports Center top 10 highlight.
It would have been sick.
It's high risk, high reward because now he's in not top 10. And it's just the goofiest thing I've ever seen. This man just flailing on the ground, not being touched.
And it's difficult, right? Because like you're trying to back up your very, very sensitive home plate umpire.
Yeah.
And emotions are high. And
that was
so
wild, though. It was.
Well, so did you guys see anything about that home plate ump? And his history?
Yeah, of course.
He had been, I believe, fired from the MLB last year. And 2 years ago, had a similarly controversial ejection in extra innings during the Tennessee game. And I've seen a lot of comments about like, oh, it's weird that all of his ejections benefit the SEC. To that, I would say, when you're in Omaha, the odds that there isn't an SEC team in that game,
sure,
pretty low.
Okay,
like the
but
SEC
like, it's the biggest stage, literally the national championship game in college baseball. And you kicked a guy out in the first freaking inning? Like, what are we doing, guys? And they prepare their whole lives for this. These guys aren't all going to the Major League Baseball.
And Schnall, a first-year coach.
Right.
And so I want to shout out Michael Severe because I think he had the best synopsis or the best evaluation of what happened. Severe's covered baseball for a very long time. And he said, he's like, I can't imagine a combination of words that a coach could say in championship game 2 in the first inning that would warrant an ejection.
I know some words.
Yeah, but he didn't say those. I believe all he said was you've missed 3 pitches in a row.
Yeah.
And I tried to do my best lip reading. I don't see anything super vulgar. I just think that's crazy.
It was crazy.
I saw a description. I don't know if you guys saw this about this again. His name's Angel. It's not Angel Hernandez.
Of course.
Yeah.
Because of course, every bad umpire's name is Angel.
I think it's like Angel.
He's the fucking devil.
Somebody in the comments might correct me. I think his name's Angel Campo.
Campo or Campos.
Something like that. But he was described as rabbit-eared and fast-triggered. Fast-triggered made sense to me. Rabbit-eared didn't. I think it just means like he's like reading too far into things.
Or he hears things maybe that he doesn't actually hear.
Yeah, I don't know. But this guy just, honestly, I don't think I was acting or responding to this too crazy because this was after the game. Seeing all the clips and seeing, what I thought was said, I think the guy's got to lose his job. Like you can't act like that in the bottom of the first inning. LSU at that time had thrown 10 total pitches. 10 pitches. And you're going to throw a coach? Like, Should Schnall have come out of that dugout like that? Absolutely not.
Probably not, but just
But-
tell him to go back to his dugout and move on, you know?
Yeah, well, and they did warn him. They did. And
Well,
he
what
did continue to move forward, but like bottom of the first 10 pitches in, dude.
Well, what Schnall said, you know, I'm a 48-year-old guy. I'm a man. I'm 48. And he said, like, he got shushed away. He got shushed. He got shush.
Yeah, brushed off.
Yeah. And it's like, I get it. And I'd be pissed off too. Like, who the fuck do you think you are? But like, damn it. What was my point? I forgot my fucking point.
Okay. I mean, here,
Damn it.
as you get to your point, the strike call that he was arguing, I think he had a good case for too. The ball was inside. The catcher threw it to second base and they called it a strike.
I think out of those first 10 pitches, there
Right.
actually were
Yeah,
three really bad calls.
They were bad. They were
Yeah.
bad.
It's just wild. Like, I'll be listening to a Nebraska baseball game, and dude, there's so much chatter just like after every pitch.
People are always bitching.
Dude, there's always, you know,
Yeah.
and like McLaughlin and Hanley will even say, like, the Nebraska dugout's really giving it to old boy. And it's like, this is happening in a Big Ten game that really doesn't mean
Yeah.
much. But dude, I guess rabbit-eared would count if like you're like really listening. Like, what's Coastal saying? What you know,
Yeah.
bro. I don't know how to really articulate this beyond like unless someone said "fuck your mother" or something like that.
But that's
Like,
even then.
what are you doing?
Even then.
okay.
Okay, but okay.
Yeah, if you get that
Mike,
far,
I'm just saying
if
though,
you
like
get that far.
on this stage, guys.
Like, and it's
what
like,
are we doing?
But we know Schnall didn't say that.
he didn't say that.
It looks like, from what I can gather, he comes out of that dugout and he's saying, "You've missed 3 big calls already." Again, we're 10 pitches into the game,
Right.
and he's holding up the 3, telling him, "He's like, you've missed 3 big." And then he gets kind of brushed off, and I think that kind of sets Schnall off. Like, dude, you got to listen to me over here. Like, I'm not trying to tell you how to call a game, but like, call it, reasonably.
try not to
well.
suck.
Well, and it's a
Yeah.
home crowd for LSU.
Absolutely.
Omaha is scattered. I was down there. It's scattered with LSU fans. So, I mean, it was a home crowd, pretty much a home game for LSU.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that the umpire, Mr. Angel, didn't want to play the moment a little bit for himself. 'Cause
Mm.
Get
that's
out
what it
there
seemed
and
like.
Get out there and make this about you.
He did.
Yeah.
He did.
Oh, he very
100%
very
did.
So to that point, and this might be a controversial take. I want to see what you guys think about this. LSU did win that game, and they won game 1 as well. I mean, they just outperformed Coastal Carolina. I think it's unfortunate that LSU does have at least slightly an asterisk on this championship because of how those umps operated
No.
in that first inning.
No, I disagree.
That's a massive impact.
Dude, they kicked their ass though. Like
it was 5-3.
You want to talk about like the most determining part of game 2?
It was 1-0 in game 1.
They had communication issues. And then that pitcher, their best pitcher for Coastal, could not find the zone after that. And he was just rattled. Like right when you got into the inning, throwing pitches, all that stuff, no comms. They're switching things out.
What do I do?
Working, right? Takes 5-ish minutes. I think that you want to talk about something that kind of threw them off the rails a little bit. I think it was the comms issue going into that inning where LSU took advantage and scored 4 or 5 runs, whatever it was. Other Brian in the chat said, refs/umps should never make an impact in a championship game like that. Just do your job. I totally agree. I think when the lights get brighter, I feel like that's when the refs get worse. And we saw it in the Super Bowl. We've seen it all over the place, guys. Like it happens on the biggest stages.
I know. I want to try to have a non like skeptical view of umps.
intent, right?
Yeah.
Not.
I know. Maybe I'm being naive about it. It's like people say, "Oh, you did it because of the moment, and you wanted to bring attention upon yourself and make it about you." Like, I feel like that's the easy way out. But at the same time, it's the first inning.
It's the first inning.
What are you doing?
And so here's,
Damn.
I will give refs and umps credit when they are operating on that stage because there is way more pressure to perform at that stage. You're keyed up, you're ready to go.
Yeah.
But I think that's something that they themselves need to recognize is there is a lot of pressure. And that's why you really need to temper your actions with the situation that you're in.
Know the assignment.
Yeah, I think, obviously, I feel like we're all on the same page. But the ejections were just totally unwarranted. You help Schnall. You get him back into that dugout. And if he comes out again in like the third or fourth, then maybe you're looking at that. But 10 pitches into the game for LSU, and you're going to throw out him. And I'm sorry, I can't remember the name of the first base coach. He was irrelevant to me. But I also thought his ejection
was wild.
I think his ejection was honestly more egregious than Schnall's.
Yeah.
Because Schnall was really coming at home plate. Like, he definitely deserved a couple of warnings. But that first base coach was just coming over to try and diffuse things. And they tossed him.
They tossed it. That was wild. Well, Hokey Skur said LSU having 2 studs start both games and prove why their first round picks won the game. Coastal Carolina ran into better pitching, which I totally agree with. I mean, the first game was a 1-0, a complete game shutout type game. And then you go to this next game and all that drama happens and Coastal's bat still never woke up.
It's just
let's hold off on that.
They didn't.
I mean, Coastal,
they got on base and they never hit. They could not get guys in and around home plate.
Coastal's bats woke up. They just woke up too late. Like, they, prior to game 2, had not hit a single homer in the entire College World Series. They hit 2 in that game.
Right.
Their bats were waking up. They were getting base runners. It was just too late. And again, like, what was the name?
That's Hokey.
Hokey's right. LSU's pitching is just absurd. It has been for years. I mean,
you know that song by JoJo?
JoJo Siwa?
Just too little, too late.
Yeah.
Almost doesn't count. That's by Brandy.
Yeah.
Hey, I think I got a couple people that say let's turn the page to football.
Well, I just want to say,
go ahead. Put a bow on it.
No asterisk, because that purple in that gold banner is going to go up, and no one's going to really remember this. They're not.
I will.
Nobody cares.
You won't. You won't. In 364 days, you will not remember.
You'll be yelling about somebody else and some other bad call.
You fucking asterisk this, asterisk that.
Siri set a timer.
But you're right. I want to piggyback off what you said, because when the brights are light, the players feel the pressure, and so do refs and umps. So yes, whether you're playing or you're umpiring, you got to be better. And you can't be fumbling and stumbling around like an Arkansas outfielder or the ump that tripped over his own feet.
Might I say,
Big facts.
You temper your actions with wisdom.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
All right. We do have a fun comment in the chat. 2 of them first. So Merwin wants us to move to football. He said, how's a running back situation looking? Also, we could talk a little running backs maybe in a little bit. But BA, he's in the chat. He said, "Hey boys, I've got a massive problem. I wrecked my car and it's totaled. I need a new sticker for my car, and I'm about to go buy one, but there's none on the MBNR merch shop. What will be done about this?" Jared, do you have any more stickers? You're sticker king. Do you?
I might have some in here. I have a lot of like pins. I got a lot of pins.
You're a pin guy. Big pin guy.
Big pin guy.
Yeah.
I love that you asked the question. His backpack already in his hands. Like, let me take a look here.
Well, BA, I mean, if anybody deserves a bumper sticker, it's BA.
It's BA.
You're right. I got a lot of pins and keychains.
Shout out Uniontown, by the way.
Yeah, Uniontown, baby.
Hey.
Uniontown's they're gonna wreck some havoc in Kansas football, baby.
Yeah.
If we do not have a bumper sticker for you, BA, we are working on getting all of our merch re-upped because Evans and Hurdat and all this stuff. So we are working on that. But in the meantime, guys, we do have koozies, and we are giving away a draft top opener. So we're going to be posting about that later. Ooh. If you guys want a head start,
throw Mike a koozie. So
throw me one.
He's got the camera.
BA's going to love this. BA's getting one anyways. Throw me another one. I can't.
How many more do I got to throw over there?
We'll see how many tosses you have.
There we go.
All right. Here's one of the koozies, though. We got a little MBNR podcast koozie. We are going to be doing some giveaways, probably give away 5-10 of them to some lucky listeners, as long as you are following us on social media, tagging friends, sharing, and subscribing on YouTube. And then we're going to give away 2 lucky listeners are going to get one of these draft top openers to take the tops off their beers with us while they watch our shows. So we will be posting about that sometime this week. But BA, to answer your question, hopefully we can get you a bumper sticker relatively soon. If not, Jared might have to order a couple more.
Mike, and you said the giveaway happens when we hit 1,000 YouTube subscribers, yeah?
Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
Yeah.
Once we hit 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, we are going to do a massive giveaway and give away 10 of these koozies and 2 of those openers, maybe 4. Who knows?
Maybe
we've got tons of draft top openers once we hit 1,000. So tell your mom, tell your grandma, tell your grandma's friends. Go subscribe to our YouTube channel right now. We've got 82 of you in here watching. If you're not subscribed to our YouTube,
come on,
help us out.
Come on.
Literally, we are 15 subscribers away from 1,000.
We're desperate.
We are desperate.
We're 14 away.
14 away.
So one of
14 subscribers away from 1,000.
One of you must have.
And Connor will shave his mustache on air.
I did not say that.
You might.
I did not say that.
Live stream
Tell
shave.
you what, when we hit 10,000, I'll shave my mustache.
10,000.
10,000.
10,000.
Now, Mervin had asked about the running backs.
Yeah.
We talk about the running backs a lot. Do we still feel ambivalent? Do you know what the word ambivalent means?
Yeah.
Hesitant
I know these words.
to buy in. I know words. I still feel the same way. I think I'm not the only one besides us in this room. So Dana Holgerson had done a little thing with Mitch Sherman. I don't know if it was I think it was an article. And I think Mitch had asked him about running backs. And he gave him the gotta see it answer.
Yeah.
You know, that canned answer. I gotta see it. Emmett Johnson. I think we're like.
Are you riding high on Emmett Johnson?
Am I riding high?
I mean, so I guess when I say riding high, I guess the underlying question is, do you have faith in Emmett Johnson?
I think I have more faith than I don't. You know?
So that's a yes.
Yeah.
I mean, if faith outweighs the other end, that's a yes.
If you're gonna hold a gun to my head, I'm gonna say, sure.
Nobody's asking.
You know?
I'm not saying Emmett's going to have 1,000-yard season.
I don't think no.
But I think like I would tell you right now, I have faith in Emmett Johnson. I do.
You trust in Emmett.
Tie?
I guess.
Teej?
You tie. Don't
Teej?
Don't tie.
Doesn't work. It doesn't work.
I don't know. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Emmett Johnson. I just saw him at the College World Series.
Oh boy.
He was hanging out.
Mike stalked him.
No, I didn't stalk him. I didn't even bother him. He wasn't rocking his E-Money shirt.
He just followed him around for like 2 hours.
No, he was there with Malcolm Hartzog and who's that?
Little Malcolm?
He's smaller in person too.
I know.
Who's
I've seen him at a baseball game.
Who's that OU transfer?
Desan McCullough.
Yeah, I saw those guys hanging out the College World Series. Let me put it this way. If Nebraska football as a whole can walk the walk like they've been doing this offseason between the Rhule BULL stuff and the tractor jumping and the Dylan Raiola
the bull riding
and the Emmett Johnson stuff. I mean, there's been so quiet news during this offseason. When we see things like this, it's like, okay, you better play well. First thing I said to you guys, when I saw Matt Rhule, that bowl, I said, if they don't win, this will be the photo. This will be the photo I bring up if they don't win.
I agree. I'm concerned that Nebraska, like, it's not that I don't have faith in the team. Obviously, we all want to see success this coming season.
What?
Yeah. And it is football season, by the way.
It is.
It is
66 days.
Yeah.
Dylan Utter days.
Ben Scott.
Yeah, him too.
But I like, while the photo ops are cool, and I love to see this team, they seem to be very cohesive. They seem to actually enjoy being around each other, which is a big thing that will translate to the field, hopefully.
Yeah.
I'm worried that we might be becoming the Kardashians of college.
Ooh. So
it worries me because like photo ops are cool, but I don't give a shit how you look on camera.
So in our group chat, and being our group chat, Mike sends the pic. My response is, you guys remember, just win, please.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
The photo ops are dope.
I get it. And you're going to have people, oh, come on, let them have fun. Have fun. But wait.
Fucking win.
Those bulls' nuts are huge. And they're fucking dragging along the ground. Cool.
Yeah.
Just win. And have fun while doing it. But just make sure you have some dubs.
Yeah.
You went 6-6 +1. You went 6 and 6 plus 1.
Hey, that's a great way to
come on
put it.
now.
Don't even say 7 and 6.
I mean,
You went 6 and 6 plus 1.
Brother,
Chill.
if there was
chill.
They're bringing the bowls out.
If there was an NCAA version of Hard Knocks and it wasn't at the University of Nebraska right now, I'd be shocked. But are we are we really in a position where we should be like, I get these photo ops are great for like recruiting material and stuff like that. But like, is this what we need to be focused on? Like, I think it's cool, but I don't want to be a Kardashian.
Ideally, Connor, I wish we didn't have to have, have to bring these bulls out and have them ride the bull. I wish, God dang, this is going to sound really negative.
Didn't the pipeline take a picture on a fucking playground? Like,
yeah, on a little slide.
That's all they needed. That's all they needed. You know why? Because they produced. We didn't need a bowl.
Right.
Like,
okay, but the bowl was there for recruiting, right?
I know.
Do you not recall that
Yeah.
we backed up a freaking semi truck for Grant Bricks? And guess what? Matt Rhule landed Grant Bricks. So if the bowl gets us that big ass offensive lineman, check, right?
Yes, man.
But the photo op is what I'm talking about.
No.
The photo op, if we don't win games, that's the photo I'm hanging in the studio with a dartboard on it. Because that's just fucking stupid.
You're right.
It's not stupid yet.
Okay, and not only is it stupid, okay? How about this? If we land an offensive lineman because we had a bowl, he's stupid too.
Yeah. That should not be the reason you commit to a university.
Right.
Like, oh, in Nebraska, they've got bulls and cows. No shit, dude.
See, now
we're the beef state.
The Grant Bricks thing, I get. Because what do I want to say? God damn it!
Hey, it was a Midwest
It's been
battle.
a long fucking week.
It was a Midwest battle for Grant Bricks, and they backed up a truck to his high school.
Yeah, because
that was cool as shit.
That's the thing, right? You did it at his high school. It was a show of force, right? It was a show of I care. So I'm bringing my B-2 bomber out.
I was dropping bunker busters.
How about Iran? No, you show that you're invested, right? I'm bringing this bus out to you. It's not like Grant Bricks came on campus and there was a bus just sitting there, right? Already there. No, you brought it to him and you just showed him like, I'm willing to do this for you.
So you're saying that Matt Rhule needs to bring the bull to his house.
Bull in a...
He's going to walk into his childhood bedroom. There's just a fucking cow.
I was trying to do like a bull in a china shop thing, but it wasn't going to work. Damn it. So like on one hand, if this is what attracts recruits, like, is it really stupid? It's really stupid. But if it works, I guess do it. But then again, if that's why you're recruiting, you're stupid. Well, and like if that's gonna help us win games, then yes. But if that's why you're committing, I don't think you're ever gonna have a player that admits that, right?
No.
If like this defensive back that we got,
yeah,
he's not gonna say it's because he brought the ball out, right?
But it was really cool.
Well, so I think
because that's not the real reason why they're committing.
No.
It's just a thing to put on Twitter and be like, woo,
look at
we're
the cool
fun.
shit I did.
We're fun, guys. Yeah. We're not, this is where I was like going back to my past comment. Like, it sounds negative. I wish the program would speak for itself and you didn't have to do these silly.
It doesn't right now, though.
But it doesn't right now, though. You're right.
What I do believe, and like this,
but is this what it's going to take for us to be that, to be like the,
yeah.
Okay, I know.
Yeah, no, and so like I don't think it's like innately bad to do things like this. Yeah. And it's not unique to Nebraska. I mean, a lot of programs do shit like this, but I think what Nebraska is really kind of starting to commit to is this sort of personalized recruiting. Not that like for high-end recruits, it wasn't already that way,
right?
But giving them, like you're talking about backing up a truck for Grant Bricks or bringing out the bull or doing stuff like this. And this personalized touch is like, look, we do a lot of out or off the wall shit to bring players in, but you're getting yours.
I love this comment from Other Brian. He just said, when we start winning, do we see the same amount of these types of things from Rhule? I'm all about it, but we need to pull out all the stops because have to, since we haven't been winning. No, I'm with you. I think that's why we're doing these things. They're gimmicky. But when you're in Nebraska and all you can say is, hey, we're a blue blood program. We won for 40 years, but we haven't won the last 20. Like, recruits don't care. Hey, we have the best facilities. They don't care. We can pay you. They kind of care about that. But like, you need something extra.
I've got a take on that is not only I like the word when, but as you guys have drilled into me to be a realist.
Oh, I'm
going to say if we start winning.
Dude, married Connor is so much cooler.
Yeah. If we start winning.
Wow, he's got some fucking sense now. Look at him. Thanks, Sam.
My IQ.
Hey, ever since you changed your last name, Connor. Connor Shonowide.
Yeah. If we start winning, not only will you continue to see this, I think you're going to see it at an increased rate. I think you're going to see it more.
2 bowls.
Because if they find out that this kind of recruiting strategy, this big flashy stuff, I think like a couple of years ago, I think it was Arch Manning when Texas rolled out like the line of Lambos for him. If this works, you think they're going to fucking stop? No, dude, they're going to put the pedal to the floor.
Double down.
We're going to double down because it's clearly working. It would, in this hypothetical, it's translating to wins. Why would you stop? You would only want to do it more.
Good point. Damn it. Okay. Mervin had asked about running backs. Now, the thing that you jumped to right away was Emma Johnson. Okay.
You started Emma Johnson. I just,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, because you had on you. Because you asked, do we trust?
Yes.
In Emma Johnson.
I did ask that.
And I think for the most part, we do. Because we've seen a lot. But that's not the key. The key isn't Emmett.
It's right? The O-line, right?
It's everybody else. It's everybody else in that room.
Well, and guess what?
Emmett isn't the question here necessarily.
It's the O-line.
You think it's the O-line?
Murren followed with he likes the interior offensive line. And that does have a big play in it, but you seem to be worried about somebody other than Emmett.
Because like backup running backs are not like backup quarterbacks.
No, they play a lot.
Like your backup is playing in the same possession, right? In the same drive as your starting running back.
Sometimes at the same time.
Same damn time. So it's not like you're waiting for your RB1 to get injured or something freaky to happen for your RB2 to play. Like
your rotation.
Quentin, you're going. Let's go.
So you think
do you trust in Quentin?
You think Quentin Ives is the guy? Like he's the determining factor of how this running back room performs?
I feel like I feel like we've said this enough.
Wild.
I think that's
wilder than recruiting with Bulls.
Well, I think you're being too dramatic. You're being too hyperbolic.
You know what I said though
about that?
I've said this multiple times on this show. If Quentin Ives does not perform well at Nebraska, it will make me question. It'll make me question Rhule's talent development. It'll make me question everything.
Barthel.
Because the dude has shoved Quentin Ives down our throat for the last 2 years. And we haven't seen anything besides a touchdown against Boston College. So if Quentin Ives isn't good, I'm scratching my head just a little bit. I'm just saying,
sure. I think Mike might have already answered my question here. But Jared, you're talking about Emmett Johnson. We have at least a respectable amount of trust for, right? And we're looking for like the next linchpin, right? My question is, what is your biggest concern in the running back room? Like who gives you the most concern that like should be performing again?
Depth.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I think depth is the concern, right? What is that biggest?
Well, Connor, here's the thing, right? And I'm kind of glad you asked this because maybe it's eye test. Maybe it's I watch other teams and I go, that running back is good. Like I see it. And yeah, I see glimpses from Emmett. I do. I see glimpses because he can catch the ball really well. He's a hard runner. He runs really hard. But like, I don't think you don't really look at him and go, whoa, that dude's different.
You remember the last whoa running back in Nebraska?
Well, sure.
Maurice Washington was whoa.
Okay.
No, he was whoa.
I wasn't going to say
anything. Yeah, but that was literally the last one that we've had.
Sure.
That was like the first time since probably Amir that I saw a guy and I was like, that guy's really different.
Well, in a different way, though, right?
Like he was special. He had talent beyond belief.
Well, and they were different style backs. I feel
Yeah, different styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like once you get Maurice in space, it's like, whoa.
Yeah.
Because he's breaking dudes' ankles. And
I think honestly, I mean, if he would have worked out, that would have been crazy. If he had between the ears was good, it would have been really good for Nebraska.
So, Jared, maybe I'm reading too far into this before you've gotten through your statement. My interpretation of what you've just said is that you're most confident in Emmett Johnson, but your biggest concern might also be Emmett Johnson. Am I reading that correctly?
well, like I don't think you're gonna. And this isn't fair. This isn't fair to him
no,
because
it's off season. We got 66 days.
Well, what I'm about to say isn't fair because it's not like he's going to win the Doak Walker Award. He's not going to be a first round pick. So it's not fair to put this expectation on him. Like he's not a game changer. He's not a dude that you look at and go, whoa, that dude's fucking different. I feel like maybe that I'm kind of copping out with that answer though. Because there's not
you're saying like, he's not elite. You're not saying he's not going to be a good or great service or running back for Nebraska. You're just saying he's not special.
Well,
he's not elite.
But that's not fair to him because how many elite special running backs exist?
There's not a lot.
So yeah, I'm admitting right now that I'm not really being fair with that expectation. You know, so I'm not expecting special Heisman shit here. But go on, sorry.
Am I off the wall to say that I think game changer is like when we talk about like an Emmett Johnson? I think game changer is unique to every program.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, and I think for the Huskers, Emmett Johnson can be a game changer. I think
1,000% can be a game changer. Absolutely. I know you said he's not a game. He 1,000% could be a game changer for Nebraska.
Sure. Again, we talked about game changer, and Mike, you just said the term elite. Elite to me is a national term. Like national, when we talk about
Amir was elite.
Yeah.
Amir was an elite running back in college football.
But yeah, that comes across, like you're comparing across the entire nation.
Yes.
Right.
I think game changer is program specific. And I think Emmett Johnson can be that. And a lot of times he has been. So I would say that Emmett Johnson is a game changer, but I would agree with the fact that he's not like an elite running back when you compare against all 132 teams, 136.
Enough.
Yeah,
a lot.
Yeah,
quite a few.
And maybe that's my, and maybe that's a skill issue on my part. Is I'm not using the right words.
No, I'm just trying to
maybe
like
game
develop.
Changer.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have said that. Maybe I should.
Game changer is tricky because like
it is tricky because you're right. It depends kind of what the system you're running and everything.
And with the new OC and Emmett, I mean, like him and Holgerson, they've gelled really well at the end of the year. And Emmett, he's good in space. He's good at catching the ball. He's good in pass pro. Like I think he'll work really well with a tenured Holgerson, like a guy that actually isn't coming in and learning the players' names. Like I think that's going to be really good for Emmett. But we haven't seen him play a full season. We haven't seen him be the feature back for a long season. When you get into October and November, when things get cold, like I don't know if Emmett's an every down back.
No.
And I hope that he can hold up in the Big Ten. Because like you said, you're going to need 2, 3, 4 running backs to get through the season. And so the depth is my biggest question mark with this running back room is who's next? Like what happens if Emmett tweaks his ankle? Because that could very well happen. That could happen on the first freaking play. And then what? Then it's the Ive show or like who's next?
Right.
Like who's next? Jamarian Parker, is he going to play right away? Like what's going to happen?
Yeah, it's difficult because like saying it out loud, it doesn't sound when it's July and you say, hey, your RB4 might actually be like an RB2 in a way. Like it sounds crazy in July, but once you're in October, November, it's like you might see flashes of that RB4. Now, injuries dictate what happens and everything. And so the thing I'm kind of concerned about, I guess, is we acknowledge Emmett's versatility and how he's able to do these different things for Dana. Now, does that come at a cost where it's overusage? And those legs get a little heavy by the time game 8 hits and you're maybe you're in the running for a freaking bowl game. But yeah, I mean, are you going to overuse him? And then it's the Ives show. And then it's the Connor Booth show. Or it's the
if it
Jamarian Parker show, maybe.
If it's the Connor Booth show.
If it's the Connor Booth show.
In 2025.
If it's the
something happened. Something really bad happened. And that means E-Money probably was not available.
Well, look, are we missing anybody? Emmett?
You've got Nelson. Mackay
Nelson, right?
Mackay Nelson.
I think Quentin Nelson's playing for the Colts right now.
I think
he's got any eligibility.
I think Mackay Nelson.
There we go. That's what
I think he's kind of like the dark horse for RB2, in my opinion. I mean, DB loves him.
You said for RB2?
Yeah, for RB2. The DB loves him some Nelson.
DB. Okay.
So I'm just saying, like,
does DB love Quentin the same way?
I don't know. I don't know.
We should have him on. I don't know.
We might have to get DB back on. But I'm just saying, like, he likes himself some Nelson. So
I think and maybe I'm being too optimistic, and I'm trying to work that out of myself.
No, you should. Hey, don't ever apologize.
Yeah, but
for your bad takes,
for your terrible opinion.
No.
I think
stop.
Dana Holgorsen is a phenomenal OC. I think he fits the system really well. I think we saw we didn't get a whole lot of him last season. But I don't see him like overworking Emmett Johnson, because I feel like if we're sitting in this room talking about you can't overwork this guy, for us to think that Dana doesn't see that as well would be naive. So I'm sure that he's going to know.
Connor, what if it's out of necessity though?
If it's out of necessity, what other option do I have?
You have none.
If it's
that's literally
out of
we have no depth.
That's what we're saying.
He is the guy.
Like, I'm not saying like if Dana can really help it.
No, I'm agreeing with the depth argument, but I think until if it gets to that point,
when
if I actually was going to bring this up as we were talking about injuries, is I would hazard a guess that say you guys watch a good amount of Husker football.
What?
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
No way.
Unfortunately.
And I would bet how many people in the chat?
Great success.
Like 100 people in here right now.
I would hazard a guess that the 100 people that are in that chat right now also watch a good amount of Husker football.
Because they're sick.
They're sickos.
In a good way.
They understand that injuries are going to happen. I mean, that's just the nature of Husker football. We're going to have injuries, and they're always going to come at the worst time, and it's going to be in the worst position possible. Let's just I had a point here.
No,
now
it's not going well.
You want to know the point?
Hey, no,
it's not going well.
I'm going to tell you the point. Ready?
What? Tell me what my point was. I was trying to be positive about we're gonna have injuries, but we're not gonna get this overworking unless it's necessary. And then as I started talking, I was like, "Shit, dude, it's probably gonna be necessary."
I'm laughing.
He's talking himself further and further down. He's like, "Oh my god,
no,
this can't come out of my mouth."
Yeah, no, I told you, dude. I've become so much more reasonable.
You ready to dig deeper? You ready?
No, I don't.
And I'm laughing now because I'm gonna hate this later. So I'm laughing now to get it out of my system.
Okay.
Laugh in June. Laugh in June.
Laugh in June, cry in September.
Big facts.
Picture this. You're
Mike, can you give me the imagine button over there?
You're playing Iowa.
Hold on. Here it is.
It's November 2025. Nebraska football.
It's the Iowa game, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh, God damn it. I knew it immediately.
5-6. Hawkeyes come to town. Jalen Gramstad.
No, God damn it. Don't you say those words. I have nothing against Gramstad, but don't you say those words to me right now.
The game is tied. 13-13.
Oh, God.
With 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Jalen Gramstad hands off to Connor Booth.
Fumble!
Oh,
and
no.
a field goal for Iowa to walk it off.
Hey, you guys finished that last part.
Were we correct in where you were going?
All I said was Jalen Gramstad hands off to Connor Booth. The rest was all you guys. It could have been Connor. And see, and this is where Kyle Crooks would come in very handy. breaks a tackle. He's at the 5. He dives for a touchdown.
But he fumbled it.
Nebraska. What?
But he fumbled out the end zone. Oh no! It's a touchback.
Oh, Kyle Crooks, you're in for one, buddy.
Yeah,
that's gonna happen.
And on the flip side, he had to watch Anthony Richardson play football, and he sucks. So
here we go. I mean, athletic freak though. Athletic freak.
Very big athlete, beautiful athlete.
Go Colts.
I've never seen a quarterback that could not quite pass, but run very, very good.
Dude, Graham's dad to Connor Booth is the ultimate coach's son backfield.
I mean, look, by that point, you might as well just
First
have
in,
Matt
last
Rule
out.
hand off to EJ Barthel at that point.
Can we do that?
I want to see it one time. Okay. Any other points about like depth or running backs or anything?
No, I think we talk about the new voice of Husker Nation.
Oh, really quick. This is very short. Do you guys see that picture of Rocco Spindler?
Yeah,
It's looking nice.
I guess. I just
Again, we haven't seen much.
Yeah.
he kind of
It gets you a little excited.
he just
though,
kind of
right?
looks like me, you know. Just kind of.
No, he doesn't look fat.
Yeah. He doesn't look like he
I don't
has
know.
no soul and he's chubby and needs too many Twinkies. But
left out redhead.
Are you a big Twinkie guy?
I said no soul.
I'm not a big Twinkie guy. You know what I am?
Oh no, you're the freaking
What?
the what do you call those? Those pastries. You're a big pastry guy. That's what you are.
Those
Dude.
are called Danish.
Okay.
Danish. There it is.
You know what I fuck with really hard?
Okay.
You go to a Hy-Vee, they're called Star Crunch. They're like
Oh,
the
of course.
chocolate rice thing.
With a little yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
they sell that's not a Hy-Vee thing.
Well, I only go
That's
to
like
Hy-Vee,
like a
dude.
Little Debbie brand or something.
Yeah, no, it for sure is like a national thing. I'm just saying Star Crunches.
No, you know what
They
hits?
fuck.
You know what hits? You know what fucks? In the
What?
morning, especially, get yourself some black coffee
Okay.
because that's what I drink.
You put butter in your coffee? I've
No.
heard that's a thing.
That's not a thing.
No, it really is. That's
Sick.
actually like a real thing.
Psychopaths.
Butter, huh?
Yeah, people do butter. I've heard people do wait, who is it? Is it Daniel Jones that puts mayo in his coffee? No, it's Will Levis.
That
That guy's a weirdo.
yeah.
That guy's a weirdo.
No, look, black
But
coffee.
butter and coffee is like a real thing.
Okay, I'm
No,
gonna
it's
try
not.
it. And oatmeal cream pie.
Dude, honestly, Little Debbie oatmeal cream pies. Yeah,
Ooh.
those are sick.
I did that for a while in the morning.
Yeah, those.
I mean, terrible idea.
no,
Horrible.
Keto coffee with
Horrible.
butter. Yeah, it makes it keto. If you add butter to it, automatically keto.
yeah, people say that.
Silly.
Was that a comment?
Grass.
That was a comment.
grass-fed coffee.
No.
Not that he's tried it. Other Brian, big keto guy. Big keto
Yeah.
guy. You know,
I mean, is it working out for him? I know he can't answer in real time, but is it working out for you, buddy?
hey, Derek Assman says, don't sleep on the toaster strudels. So,
Haven't
Toaster
had one of
strudels are good.
those since.
all right. Yeah, you know what? Light up the chat, guys. We got 100 people in the chat. Drop in the chat your most elite breakfast item. And I can start it off because there's nothing that beats this. And you all have terrible opinions. The breakfast burrito is the best breakfast thing
I mean,
total.
So-
it's the best thing.
You're so insanely wrong.
No, it's,
I-
it's the breakfast burrito.
No. So this is not specific to the establishment that I'm going to name. I like once or twice a week will stop by as I go to work. There's a Dunkin' Donuts. They have a sausage, egg, and cheese croissant. That's a banger. You get a sausage, egg, and cheese to start your morning.
Croissant.
Yeah.
croissant.
I do always order as croissant. There have been a couple of times they've refused to serve me because I pronounced it that way. But that's not true.
You do
But
that.
no, sausage, egg, and cheese croissant is a banger. That's how you start your morning. It's the only correct way.
Well, BA says, grow up, Connor. You're a married adult now. Other Brian says,
BA's
homemade
like
biscuits
19.
and gravy. Dylan Cavillak says, croissant over biscuit. You are wrong.
Dylan's correct.
Biscuit over croissant all day.
Damn.
That's going to have to be a poll. Dylan's correct. It's croissant over biscuit all day.
No. Hey, let me picture this for you.
Picture it.
Bobby Curtis, biscuits and gravy.
Yeah.
Thick biscuits.
But that's
I ain't putting no
separate,
gravy on the fucking croissant.
That's a
Get the
separate
hell outta
dish.
here.
That's a separate dish. though.
No.
You know that.
Biscuits are elite.
That's a bad
They
take
are
on
elite.
it.
If you're going to go like breakfast Sammy, it's biscuit all day. If you're going to go total breakfast item, it's the breakfast burrito.
What's-
All right, Danish boy, what do you got?
Yeah. Is
Now-
it croissant or biscuit?
well, I think it's biscuit, right?
Oh,
But here's the thing. But here's the thing. And maybe this is where we can concede. We can find some middle ground here. if you have a shitty biscuit, that fucks it all up.
I agree.
You got to have, but here's the thing. It's easy to get a shitty biscuit. Now, if you put enough gravy on that motherfucker, then it's not, you just,
But you got to have good gravy.
I'm talking about a
soggy it
sandwich,
down.
though. I'm talking about a sandwich.
A sandwich, a good biscuit sandwich is way better than a croissant.
You're
Ooh,
so
okay.
wrong.
I got to,
And you say fucking up a biscuit, it's way easier to fuck up a croissant. They literally will turn into freaking like rubber if you mess up a croissant.
just because he fucks up croissants.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just saying, you go to a gas station, get a breakfast croissant.
Who's buying them at gas stations?
Lots of people.
That's what
Fucking
Mike is
poor.
basing all of his,
Yeah.
just whatever gas station.
Bacon, egg, and cheese. Merwin says bacon, egg, and cheese. Dylan is just blowing up the chat in here. You know,
Calling you a
Is he on the
dumbass?
croissant thing?
he said comparing a biscuits and gravy or whatever is apples to tomatoes. Connor is correct on this. Two different dishes. It's a sandwich and a croissant. It's B's and G's from the Bobby Curtis. I agree.
Okay.
But biscuit is better than croissant.
I want to point
KC breakfast pizza slaps. Yeah, thank you, ass man. Yeah, 100%.
I agree with that too, but can we I don't know, can we just screen cap that? That's the first time Dylan has ever said I was right on anything.
He said you were correct. He never said you were right. He said you were correct.
Oh, correct.
On this one.
Yeah.
You're
No, I'll
correct.
take it. I'll take it.
You're correct about croissant.
Yeah. Croissant.
Are we still doing this or are we done?
I think
Well,
wait,
I mean, with the episode.
No, we're not done with the episode.
Because
We
we're
got to
like an
talk
hour.
about the voice of Husker Nation real quick. Knock it out.
We're like an hour. I was just going to say,
are
like,
we at an hour? Where are we at?
We're at 58 minutes, 59 minutes.
Kyle Crooks, welcome to Husker Nation, sir. I know you're watching. He's already a subscriber to YouTube. It's
Yeah,
crazy.
big fan.
He was the one that subscribed at the beginning.
He was that guy.
He knows what's up. I like this guy already. I saw some clips. I gotta get used to it.
I have
Yes.
not seen a single clip. Like,
Gotta
if,
warm up.
If you could compare his voice to somebody else, who would it be?
Stop. I can't do
You
that.
can't do that.
You can't? Okay. No, just
The
saying.
fuck? You know, I'm not gonna sit here. It's not Gus Johnson. I'll tell you that much.
It's not Gus Johnson.
Thank Christ. I don't want Gus Johnson. But no, it's just like you're seeing highlights of a different team. You know, Florida, the Gators. So yeah, it's kind of maybe that's what's making me
Off-putting?
That's the word.
Yeah.
You know, so I gotta get used to it. But he's not doing baseball like that. A lot of people were like, "Oh, he's gonna do baseball. He's gonna do this and this."
No, they got Hanley and
Right.
Yeah.
and Benny Mack.
They
They're
got that
good,
on
man.
lock.
They got it on lock.
So, you know, he's like a younger cat too.
Yeah.
Even though he's been doing it for like 7 years already.
It's a long haul.
Dude,
I know.
Am I crazy?
Is he our new Greg Sharp?
am I crazy to say like 7 years in
Forever.
that industry is like honestly not that long? Like,
No, he's a baby. And I promise
Yeah.
you, in those 7 years, he was probably like an intern, not getting paid and shit for like beginning. So
yeah.
no, I mean, he's a young cat.
We're gonna age
I
him.
mean, this is like a really cool opportunity, and I'm actually really excited that hopefully we get to see like a guy like we're all Jared's 40 and we're like around 30.
Fuck you.
But we get hopefully to see a guy that's around here for a long time, and
Yeah.
we get to develop another relationship like we have with a lot of these other announcers for Husker Sports. So I'm really excited. I think this could be really cool.
Well, and the thing about the radio and fans' relationship with it, like it's not as influential as it used to be,
Sure.
like back in the 60s and 70s and 80s. But that's kind of ironic because back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, you didn't have YouTube and Twitter to release clips on, right? But whenever like Husker Football releases clips, it's with the radio call. So although people don't listen to the game live with the radio on for some stupid reason, I don't know why you're not doing that. They're listening to Gus Johnson and Joel Klatt. You need to listen to the radio, but most people don't do that. But it comes off on clips, and millions of people see the clips. So even though you're not watching, you're not listening to it live, you are going to hear it at some point, along with millions of other people. So it's kind of weird, right?
Can I boil it down and tell me if I'm wrong here?
Mm.
You're saying like as far as the voice goes, brand loyalty is down, but exposure is up. Like where you're going to see more of it because all of us are perpetually online. Especially if you're
Right.
watching right now, you're perpetually online. you're going to see more of this, but you're less loyal to the voice that's on there. Whereas, you know, in 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s.
Right. Lyle Brems, you still hear Lyle Bremser's name being fucking thrown around.
Do you want to hear the most saddest thing ever?
Oh, shit.
Most saddest.
Like I'm actually sad about it.
You got a croissant sandwich.
It honestly almost deterred me from what I just did. So I told Connor before he walked in, I didn't tell you this.
Okay.
I bought a Tesla, right? They don't have AM on a Tesla. They don't have talk radio on a Tesla. And I listen to talk radio all day, every day. So I don't know how to react to that.
Sell the car.
I might have to.
Yeah.
Getting a Tesla, I'm sure.
Wait, is there just like straight up no option?
There is no AM antenna built into any Teslas. So going back to your point, it is odd to try to get the radio broadcast for some people. And
stupid Tesla drivers.
Going back to Mr. Crooks, he is filling huge shoes.
Yeah. The biggest.
And I hope that he has his own style and he does it his own way.
Right.
Like, I don't want him to try to recreate what was already done. I just hope that he goes about it the way that he's always gone about it. And I hope that him and DB just kind of mesh really well and it'll go well.
Yeah.
Mike, off air, no free plugs. I'll show you. There's an app that you can Bluetooth in for AM radio. I'm going to have to. Yeah. Again, as a Colts football fan and a Duke basketball fan, that shit ain't on the radio around here. There's a great app. It's blue on the App Store. I'm not giving the name till they pay us. I'll DM you guys. You know, okay, $15,000 a year. We'll plug you.
You know, Mike, with your Tesla, I don't know if the radio station or lack of options there is going to be your biggest concern.
Yeah,
hopefully that thing doesn't fucking blow up on you.
It'll be all right. It'll be all right. I ain't worried about that.
Do some burnouts.
I don't really drive a lot, so I was like, why not? Jesus, why not? Have some fun.
All right. Do you have anything else?
Well, okay. God, I had a point on the tip of my tongue about Kyle Crooks, piggybacking off you.
Big shoes to fill.
Big shoes. Be original. Oh. I'm glad, and you guys are going to agree with this. I know you are. I'm glad he's an outsider.
I actually totally agree with that.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe you don't. I don't know. Maybe
I don't agree.
Okay, you don't.
Who would you have put in?
I wish Benny Mac would have been the voice.
Well, assuming you didn't want it.
I don't know if he wanted it. Like he was on our show. I have no clue. But call me dumb, call me stupid. But
you're dumb and you're stupid.
And I'm pretty anti Nebraska guy thing. But I would like a familiar voice when I'm watching my team play. And I've been so connected to the Kent Pavelkas of the world, the Greg Sharps of the world. Like, call me a sucker that I like the familiar voice because they feel it when I feel it, you know? Like they put their blood, sweat, and tears in it just like me. They care as much as I do. So
I want them to be biased, just like me.
Yeah, I want them to be biased. Exactly. That's why I like listening to Ben and Sharp. You know, and Henley. I like listening to those guys because they care as much as I do. So that's the only con to the outsider hire.
I hear you.
Is I don't know if he could be as invested if he cares as much as I do. Like when Nebraska fucks up, like they will, he's not going to feel it the same way I do. And I want him to do that. But Greg was also an outsider too. So maybe it'll be fine.
Can I tell you that for a position like this, for the weight, especially right now, that this position carries, there is no way that they would have hired somebody that wasn't going to feel the same way we do. I do believe this is a great hire. And whether it was inside or outside, it didn't matter. I think specifically this position was one that meant a lot, not only to the fans, but to the administration and to the coverage. There was no way that there was not going to be the right guy. I'm excited.
And I do know there's a lot of people who applied for this job.
Yeah.
Hundreds of people applied to be the voice of Husker Nation. So
I think you will see that same love that us sickos have, and you sickos that are watching us right now. I think that will still be there. It's new, and it will be new.
Yeah, it'll be a little jarring at first, especially for us faithful radio listeners. It'll be a little, okay. How's the chemistry with DB and Cootie? Still got to work all that out.
Yeah.
Are you saying to tit? Trust in Troy? Is that what you're saying? Trust in Playfly?
I've been a big tit guy for a while.
I've been a big tit guy.
I trust in Playfly. I love Playfly.
Speaking of you being a tit guy, so Mr. Kyle Byers, shout out to Mr. Kyle Byers.
Shout out Kyle Byers.
He is expecting and could be having a child sometime this week, so he's not here.
No,
but he's in the chat.
Okay.
And he said, well, look at that ring on Con Man's finger. And then Ass Man said, don't worry, it's a promise ring. Dylan brought up a good point about this topic, though. He said, do you think a true sports fan, though he can be as animated, even if it's not his own team? So,
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
Well, it's kind of what you're bringing up.
Do you think a true sports fan can be just as animated, even though it's not his own team? So,
who's to say it's not?
Yeah, I here's my thing.
Maybe he grew up.
This is his team now, so maybe he will. But that's my only crutch is an outside hire. I want them to just when Iowa breaks your heart, I want their heart to break too. I want to feel the same thing, and that's why when we do this thing, when Nebraska loses, we hope you feel the same way you did. We're freaking screaming and yelling at each other and trying to figure out what the fuck happened. Or just realize that is what it is. I don't know. That's just what I want them to feel that.
That's one of the luxuries of us doing this, and we're not being paid or sponsored by the universities. We can be freewheelers, and we can say kind of whatever the fuck we want and not really care.
Right.
We don't have access or whatever. And so, this is one of those things where you got to be a little more buttoned up and a little more classy.
Yeah. It ain't Florida, man. This ain't Gainesville. This is not Gainesville.
When Iowa blocks our punt, we can't have Kyle Crooks go, fuck, on air.
No, but
oh, shit.
But to Mike's point,
as
he calls it, quote unquote, unbiased, I should feel that pain.
I want to feel
I hear you.
Yeah.
It's something that Sharpie did that I think a lot of people don't get to experience, just around the nation as fans.
Yeah.
Is to have someone feel the same way you do. And it was endearing. I mean, that's the best way I can put it. It was endearing because while you're being, just kind of not a fan, you are. And you can tell just by the way you're saying things that you feel like I do. And it brings fans closer to the program.
And part of that is on us too. We have to brainwash him.
Yes.
You are a Husker now.
Yeah.
One of us.
But again,
one of us.
With hundreds of people applying for this position, I don't think the university, the administration, I don't feel like there was any way that he was that far off.
You want to hear something this? This could be a conspiracy Connor thing. Do you think that this is a stepping stone job for him? Is he gonna pull? Is he gonna pull a Trev? Is this a stepping stone broadcasting job
to go to where?
With all the people that had interest in this job, is this considered a stepping stone to get to somewhere else?
No,
I don't know. I'm just asking the question out loud.
With that many applicants, this is a pinnacle for a broadcaster.
I agree.
This is a pinnacle. This is not a stepping stone.
I would agree. I would especially when you compare us to other athletics programs, there's more passion, there's more investment here. So I guess your question becomes, if assuming Mr. Crooks is very good at his job and he's going to get future offers, will Nebraska continue to, oh my God, look at us fucking gaming this out for the next 5 years already. And he might suck. But if he's really good, we got to pay him, right?
Yeah.
Got to pay him. That's the name of the game, right?
That's
Even though Greg Sharp loved him some Nebraska, what if Bama came around and said, "Well, we'll pay you $30 million."
I mean, no broadcaster is making that.
How much do you love Nebraska, really?
Somebody's offering you $30 million, you don't take it.
You should be the voice of Bama Nation.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
Let's end this topic on this last question. How hard is this dude going to be criticized by the fans when he messes up? Twitter is a cruel place.
And I hope he's ready for that.
Hopefully he's ready.
Can I start on that? Too hard.
You think so?
You
don't think people will have enough like awareness to give them some
sympathy?
Grace and sympathy? You don't think so?
Not even a little.
Damn.
How often do we talk about that the Nebraska fan base is irrational? They expect perfection even when they haven't seen it in 30 fucking years.
I do like married Connor way better, man.
Yeah. Sharpie.
Yeah, you're so negative now. I kind of like it.
I think this is just a fair point. I think he's going to be criticized too heavily because they want him to be Sharpie and he's not. Here's the thing.
Go on.
And this sucks. It's sad. We all miss Sharpie. We all do.
Yeah.
He's not coming back.
No.
He's not.
No.
And the one thing we can do is this guy is going to make mistakes. Everybody does. Every coach does. Every player does. Every announcer
even
does.
Greg did.
But give him a break. Give him a chance and let him go. I
think you're being too negative. You're trying to be like us. Stop.
Yeah.
No, I don't like
you can't sit with us.
Yeah, dude, you're like
I think Nebraska fans are just going to look for opportunities to try and criticize this guy. And I think give him his chances. I think he's going to be good.
You really think though? I don't think though. I don't think that.
I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I hope I'm wrong.
Well, it's a conversation about who listens to the radio and who. I think mostly old people listen. I don't know. It's different.
I mean those are your biggest critics is those old farmers from Western Nebraska.
Yeah.
That we did it in the 90s with the fullback.
This isn't Lyle Brams.
Yeah.
I'm on my tractor. You're on your tractor. You can't hear shit anyway. Nah, see,
the good news is they don't have Twitter.
Right. To voice their they're gonna fucking send. You best believe they'll send in their snail mail.
Yeah.
How dare he? This whippersnapper.
I had somebody today tell me they didn't know how to send a letter. That was wild.
Hey man, right in those.
I know that
envelopes.
person's actually in the chat right now because you've already said their name.
He likes croissants.
Ass man.
It's not ass man. Okay.
Okay.
Kyle Crooks, we will give you grace, my friend. I will.
You're getting grace from this podcast.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, we know some people. Maybe we can get Kyle Crooks on the show before he calls his first Husker game. That'd be cool.
That'd be very cool.
Mike, send that DM.
I tried today, but his DMs are not open. So I will reach out to Cootie.
Mike is the DM daddy.
DM daddy.
I'm gonna get you some business cards.
It is true. I mean,
I'm gonna get
you know what DM stands for? You know what DM stands for?
Direct message.
Delaware message. They named it after him. They named it after him.
It's Delaware, Mike.
Right. Stupid. Okay. Hopefully, some of you subscribe to our YouTube.
Guys, we are 14 subscribers away on YouTube right now. Once we hit 1,000, guys, we are giving away some stuff.
Woo.
All you got to do is share with your friends, retweet, like the post, and we are going to give away some free stuff, guys. 14 away, guys. Then Connor shaves his mustache.
I said 10,000. I'll shave a mustache at 10,000.
You're colorblind, so it's 1,000.
I don't see how that's relevant.
Well, because you're dumb.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. That's an accurate statement.
Okay. Spotify, YouTube, Facebook,
Apple podcast.
Yeah, Spotify, Instagram, NBNR podcasts. Same handle on everything to make it easy. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Hall,
Connor Cadillac,
and Mike Delaware.
As always, beat Cincinnati and GBO.
Wee.